Welcome back to Higher Hertz. My name is Alexis, here with another violin lesson video for you guys today. Today we're going to be going over pieces 2 and 3 in the Suzuki Violin book number 1. So these pieces are going to be Lightly Row and Song of the Wind. So let's get started. So in Lightly Row, if you have the sheet music in front of you, if you've already purchased the book, we'll start right at the beginning looking at what all the markings mean. So the very first sign that you're going to see is a treble clef. Next to it, you're going to see 3 sharps, meaning that we're in A major. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the video that goes over the 3 easiest violin keys to play in, and that will tell you how to play the A major scale and A major arpeggio, which will be really helpful for the beginning pieces in the Suzuki Violin book number 1. You'll also see that there's the word moderato written at the top. That means that we will play moderately, which is just kind of da 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 da. Just whatever moderate is. It's not fast, it's not vivace, and it's not quite allegro either. You'll also see what looks like a cent sign. It's like a C with a little line going through it, and that is going to mean that we're in cut time. Okay, so getting started. The very first note we play is an open E. You'll see a little, this sort of shape on top of it, almost like a box without the bottom part. That means you're going to do a down bow on the first note. So what I want you to try out is setting your bow in the middle of the bow here, and you're going to pull the bow down like this with your arm. So your arm is going to go down. That means a down bow. So from the middle of the bow to the tip of the bow. So there's our first note. We're going to go over to the A string and we're going to plop down our second finger. So when you go ahead and put down your second finger on the A string, you're going to want to already have your first finger down as well. That's going to give you a nice placement. And if you haven't already, make sure you have tapes on. If you're a beginner, go to your local luthier, or you can purchase a set of tapes to go over the whole fingerboard. That way you'll know where the note is. If you do get lost otherwise, you can always look up a piano app and play a C sharp on it, or you can have a tuner in front of you, and when you play the note, check to see if you're playing it in tune to a C sharp. Okay, so we have open E for our first note. We go over to C sharp on the A string, so second finger. And we're going to play that note twice. So the first 2 notes in the first measure are going to be colored in, and then the third note is left blank. And so what that means is that the first 2 notes are going to be faster than the third note. So you're going to feel the feeling of 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I mean by that is that the third note is twice as long as the first 2 notes. So you should be able to feel 4 beats in the measure. So when you're playing it, it's going to feel like 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, that'll just sound like. And then we're going to place our third finger. 1. So the next measure is going to copy that same first measure's rhythm. Short, short, long, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So to repeat that. Next, we're going to play a scale going up on the A string. So we're going to play open A, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to play open E, or if you feel really brave, you can use fourth finger on the A string. So it's our favorite rhythm again, the short, short, long. So on the second line, what you'll see is now a little caret above the first note. What this marking means is an up bow. So we're going to start at the tip, and we're going to move our arm up. So we're going to go ahead and cross back over to the A string with that second finger. Make sure your first finger is already down. Third finger. 1. an A. This is an arpeggio now. Crossing back over to the A string. So this B section we just played, or the second line, is going to be a lot more of the quarter notes, less of the half notes. Go ahead and slow it down as much as you need to, but you will notice between lines 1 and 2 that it's basically the exact same finger patterns, which is really helpful. You're just going to play the notes a little bit more than you did in the first line. So the third line is going to bring us to kind of a whole new sort of section. Instead of starting on an open string, we're going to go ahead and start with our first finger on the A string. We're going to play that 4 times. And we're going to play it one more time in the next measure, and then we're going to go up our scale. 1, 2, 3, half note. Go back to second finger, play it 4 times, and then once in the new measure, and we're going to go a scale up, and open E or fourth finger if you're feeling brave. And now we're back to what is the second line. We're just playing it as the fourth line, so we're going to repeat the second line. Arpeggio. Awesome, and when you get done with that last note, go ahead and lift the bow off of the string, and then always remember to tuck your violin under your arm when you're finished playing. Hold it in a good rest position. So let's go over one more time. Go ahead and feel free to slow it down as much as you'd like to, and you can play along with this track. Awesome, so that was Lightly Row. If you're keeping up, we're going to go ahead and move on to Song of the Wind. Each of these pieces should take you a couple days, if not a week or several weeks to learn, so don't feel bad if you need to slow it down, if you need to go back over sections. That is the point of the exercises, is to really stretch our brains and to learn a lot and grow. Okay, Song of the Wind. Song of the Wind is going to start on the very beginning. You're going to see the treble clef marking, and then you're going to see the 3 sharps again, which means that we're in A major. So if you're not familiar with that, we're just going to be playing on the A and E string. You're going to have high second finger, which goes right below the third finger. This song is going to be in 2/4, which means that there are going to be 2 quarter notes per measure. You're going to notice that there are these bars attaching the first 2 notes and then the second 2 notes, which denotes that they are going to be 8 notes. So the way that you're going to feel that is 1 and 2 and. So each measure is going to have the quarter notes. Play them as slow or fast as you want. The 2/4 doesn't mean anything about the speed of the piece. It's talking about the rhythms that you're going to see per measure. And each measure is divided by, there's a line you'll see going on the page, and that's how the piece is broken up into measures. Just makes it a little bit easier to then know where you're at in the piece. It starts on a down bow, you'll see, which, remember, our arm is going to go down. You see an M, F at the bottom of the first note, which means mezzo forte. Mezzo forte is a dynamic marking, so that's telling you how loud to play. So usually you consider forte to be loud, so you'll see like the letter F. If you see the letter P, that means piano, that's going to be quiet. So if you see MF, it means mezzo forte, which is about medium loud, a nice talking sound. Okay, let's get started. So we start on open A string, and there's going to be a scale going up. So we're going to play our A major scale. So A, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to play open E string 4 times. Now this measure coming up is going to be a little bit more tricky, but I know that you can do it. So you're going to go ahead and place your first finger on the open E string, plop all 3 fingers down on the A string, and you're going to do a little bunny hop over to the E string with all 3 of those fingers, and then first finger on the E string again. So again, that measure is going to look like 1 on E, plop on A, hopped over to E, 1. Now you're going to play open E string. After you play the open E string, which is a quarter note, you're going to see kind of like a squiggly mark in that measure, and that means you're going to have a quarter note rest. And so what you want to do during that quarter note rest is you're going to lift the bow off. You're going to make a nice circle, and you're going to reset the bow in the middle of the bow. So we're going to then repeat what we basically just did in the last 2 measures. 1, 3, flop over, 1, open E. And so after that open E, we're going to do another bow retake. So we're doing these beautiful circles with our arm. Make it as big or as small as you like, but just get back to the middle of the bow. We're going to play open E string, plop all 3 fingers down on the A string. And we're going to play this 4 times. 2, 1, A major arpeggio, 2, open E. So nice bow lift. We're going to repeat what we just did with the last line here. 3, 2, 1, open A. Now at the very end of the piece, you're going to see 2 little dots at the end there. There's a line, there's 2 little dots right before it. The 2 little dots there are going to mean that you're going to repeat the piece. Now, you don't have to do that every single time, but it does make it nice. It, makes it a little bit longer, and it's great for a recital to repeat it. Gives you a second opportunity also to try and play it maybe a little bit differently. I know the piece is marked mezzo forte, but you can get creative with how you're phrasing things, how you want it to sound. So it's an awesome opportunity to get to play it again. So let's just go ahead and go over how to play Song of the Wind again. You can use this track to play along with when you're practicing at home. Fantastic. So we just learned how to play Song of the Wind, and before that we learned how to play Lightly Row. These are both 2 really fantastic pieces. They're both folk songs, and I think that you can really learn to love them and enjoy learning your scales and arpeggios through them. They're excellent learning pieces that you can start with right as the beginner stages. Feel free to slow things down as much as you need to. We really appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. This was another production with Higher Hertz. My name is Alexis, and I'll see you guys next time.